The next of our talks is presented as a 5-minute bulletin, and it's from the Bath and Counties Archaeological Service. It's presented as a PowerPoint poster that will autoplay. So there's no commentary associated with it, but please do sit back and read the kind of I guess the PowerPoint poster that will appear. It will cycle through the different slides and take you through. So don't panic that your speakers or your microphone aren't working or something like that. I have the slides here. They're prepared by John Oswin from the Bath and Counties Archaeological Service. So thank you very much for the contribution, John. If you bear with me, I will share my screen and get this thing up and running. So yeah, stand by. And thank you very much to John and team for that bulletin. Was there any questions or comments on what you just saw? I can obviously flip back to particular slides if we want to refer to individual parts, but I think that John is online and I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any. Could I open the floor? I might put a question myself then, John, which is just that. Oh, sorry, Paul. Yes, I will hand to Paul.
I'm sorry, Adam. That was just a mistake.
Okay, it was raising your hand in support of a nice bit of homemade experimentation. Well done, Armin. Yes.
Hi, John. Very interesting results, and I'm pleased that you are able to do such tomography analysis. I was wondering whether you could explain a bit more how you got the probe contact. Did you just fill the cups with water and let it seep out, or how did you make sure there was contact between the electrode and the floor?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can, John.
Right. Okay. Basically, we filled the inside of the little container with a piece of wet sack and made sure the area just around the floor of the contact was wet. And we then waited about 10 minutes or so, and we looked, before we started taking a formal set of measurements, we took several sample measurements to make sure we were getting stability. And usually after about, say, 10 minutes, the reading would come down to a nice stable reading, and we would take that as a formal result then and log it. But we just kept the water within that container itself.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Armin. Yeah, I have seen kind of equivalent practice where we're trying to do demonstrations with geophones indoors, and so you put them in little plant pots, and it seems to work remarkably well, even though you'd think that it shouldn't. Yeah, we'll take a question from Lewis there.
Hiya, really interesting presentation. I just wanted to ask, whose idea was it to use upended plastic beer cups?
Basically mine. The first ones we used were the cheap plastic cups, which you could go and buy in any cheap store and bore a hole in the bottom of them, just long enough so they supported a probe, which is what, 20-25 centimeters long. They could hold it upright, and they worked, but they split very easily, which is why we then got the whole society going out and buying soup and supplying plastic soup containers because they were a bit stronger. It was also my idea to put wet sacking inside because we needed something to keep the whole contact wet. And as long as we had good wet contact onto the floor from the probe, we could get sensible results.
But not beer.
But not beer. Yeah,
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah. We'll just say they're actually...
It really would open up lots of possibilities, I think, in other sites where we wouldn't ordinarily imagine that resistivity was practical. So it's great.
Yeah, there are more sophisticated things you can use, but this is the cheap and cheerful of the amateur society.